Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this ANCEL PB600 advanced circuit tester. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's get this open. So we have some egg crate foam in here, and here we have the tester. So we have some leads. The tester is here. We have the cable, and the clamps, and extension cable. So let's take a quick look at the manual here. So you'll want to read through this on your own. I'm just taking a quick look. Here are the tool specs. So this has a 2.4-inch TFT display. You can see the operating temperatures there. Supply voltage is 8 volts to 35 volts. DC voltage testing is -110 to +110. Frequency is 0 to 1 megahertz. So here are the different parts. This has different probe tips, has a built-in hook, has LED polarity indicators, LCD screen, LED light, has a puncture needle extension cable, relay test cable. So this has lots of functions. It does DC voltage, AC voltage, frequency, duty cycle, fuel injection, resistance, diode, activating components in your hand, component test, relay test, battery test, cranking test, and charging test. It has a waveform display and a digital display. It turns on automatically when you power it. The main menu has 8 function tests, oscilloscope, multimeter, injector, relay, battery, active PN test, and setup. This talks about what each is. So PN test is the same as the diode test. Active component testing powers up the probe so you can test components. This shows how to hook it up. You connect it to a battery. This shows how to test different things like AC voltage. So you have the alligator clip on one side, the probe on the other. Frequency, duty cycle, resistance. So if you've used a regular multimeter, this will work just the same. Here we have diode, fuel injection. Here's relay test, battery test, cranking test, and charging test. Let's talk about system setup. Okay, so according to the Amazon description, the cable length is 30 foot. I assume that's with everything connected. So this fits in the hand like so. You could probably hold it left or right-handed. It looks like it's mostly made for right-handed, but shouldn't be too hard to hold left-handed. If we open up the side here, we can see a port here. So if we want to do updates and such. Now it looks like there's plastic on this screen, but I'm going to leave that on as a screen protector. We have LEDs up here. So here we have a hook. That will screw in right here. So if you want to hang it on something. And we also have 2 extra fuses. So this is the relay tester here. And then we have the different probes. So these have the same tip, but they're different lengths. So we've got, that's about 6 inches there, and about 3.5 there. And then we have the puncture one, and that's maybe 4.5, but I'll show you that here in a sec. That has its own cord. Because typically when you're puncturing into something, you'll need to get into a further place. The cord on that's about 44 inches. So it has plastic on here, but actually that just pulls back. So that's just to keep it clean. So that will press in there. That will press in there. And this will thread in here, if you can see. You rotate this and it presses that pin in. So if you need to check a wire, you can pierce it with this. So a few years ago I was doing trailer wiring and this would have been perfect. So let's get this powered up so we can take a look at it. Now I'm going to test this on my car, but it's just easier to see here on my bench. So I'd guess this cable may be around 10 feet or so. So we'll get the clamps, we'll plug that in. It's a pretty tight fit. So over here I have a battery. I'll connect up to this. Now this battery is lithium iron phosphate. It is 12 volts, similar to a car battery. And here we have the interface up. If I can zoom in on that. Okay. So we can see the different modes here. So we have oscilloscope, multimeter, injector. Let's go to multimeter. It's a nice loud beep. Let's actually go to settings or setup. And I'll hit OK. And let's change the beep. So I'm going to turn the beep off. Okay. Looks like we have a back button here too. And then we have language, self-test, update mode, about. So I'll go back to the first page. I'll go to multimeter. So it has a green square around what you're going to test. So I'll hit that. So we would want to place a probe in here. So we have the top, we can take that and we'll press that in. So now that's ready to go. And we have a ground over here. Actually, let's do the shorter one. So we have the ground, so I can short these here. And then we have the continuity, it's beeping. So we have 0 ohms. So we could use this to test continuity of a ground, for instance. Now it also has diode test. So you could hook a diode up here and test it. Let me get a diode. So I'll touch this on here. Okay, so we're seeing voltage come through. We'll go the other direction. And now voltage is not passing through, so we know the diode's good. So let's go back. Let's go to oscilloscope mode. So we have volts DC, volts AC, frequency, and duty. We have injector. We have relay. So this tests 4 or 5 pin relays. We have battery test. So we have battery cranking and charging. And then we have active. So if I press left, we're going to get battery plus. Press negative, we're going to get battery minus. So if we press left, we're going to get plus here. If we press minus, we're going to get ground. So if you had a light bulb that has power, but it doesn't seem to be working, you could test the ground on it to make sure the ground is working. And then we have PN test, and that would be our diode test. And then setup. So pretty easy to use interface here. Now to turn this off, you just disconnect it from the battery, and it will turn off. So I'm going to familiarize myself with this a little bit more, and then we'll go test it out on the car. So the first thing we'll test is the battery test function on this. So I have a battery here out of my vehicle. I charged it up a couple days ago and it's been sitting here, so it shouldn't have a surface charge on it anymore. So I'm just going to connect up the battery clamps to it. So this is booting up. We'll go down here to battery. We'll hit OK. And you can test this in or out of the car. I'm just testing it out of the car. I'll hit battery test. So this is talking about getting rid of the surface charge by turning the headlights on. It's not an issue here. I'll hit OK. So this is a flooded battery. We're going to go by CCAs, and it's 840. So I can go left and right to move this number more quickly, and then up and down to do smaller increments. So I'll hit OK here. It's testing it. Okay, it's finished. So the health is at 92%. We got 894 cold cranking amps, charge is at 100%. Internal resistance is at 3.35. So it says good battery. Okay, so I'm out here at my car. I've got the battery here, so I'll connect up to it. So this is turned on. I can put the probe in. Now if you want to shut the light off, you can hold down this up here, and that will turn the light on or off. Although I do want it on. So I had this cover here for the fuse box. I just push the tabs in, it comes off. I guess most people know this, but it will typically have a diagram somewhere. So there's one on the inside. So it can tell me what different fuses are for. So if I want to see if there's voltage on any of these, I can go to oscilloscope. And we're at volts DC. So I'll test this on the positive here. So we're at 12.59. We go to negative, we hear that double beep, that means we're at negative. And these little lights were lighting up too. That's probably not on camera. Let me get this at a different position. So this is lighting up right here. And if we go this direction, it's lighting up plus. And it's kind of hard to see on camera, but there's a little plus and minus. And the beep is different. So here's positive beep, negative beep. So you can audibly tell what you're touching. So let's find a fuse here that I feel comfortable probing into. So these fuses will tend to have a little bit of metal on the top. So you can put this probe into them. And here we can see we're getting positive voltage there, and we should get that on the other side. So if you're getting on one side and not the other, you would know that the fuse is blown. This is kind of long for this. It'd probably be easier to have the shorter one. So let's try testing a relay. I'm going to hit back. And I'll go down to relay. And I have a 4-pin relay. Now we need to set this up first, so I'll get out of here. So here's a relay here. I loosened this up earlier. Okay, so I have the relay tester connected up here, and I'll touch this probe to this one like the manual said, and I'll hit OK. And I can hear the relay, and it says it's good. I'll show you the relay versus the diagram here. So here we have the diagram and the relay. So this is a 5-pin, so I hooked up these here. So there's 2 this direction and then these outer ones, and I didn't connect up that black one. So that's really handy. A couple years ago I had a car where the air conditioning wasn't working, and I ended up thinking it was the relay, so I had to go buy one and put it in, and it ended up being the relay. But had I had this tester, I could have just tested it and then I would have known for sure. Okay, so now I'm at the back of the vehicle, and there's a 12-volt socket here. So I'll get the voltmeter on and let's test it out. And I'm getting ground on both parts of it. We should have 12 volts, but the car is off, and this only works with the car on. So let's turn the car on. So the car is on now, let's test it again. We're getting 11.90 volts. So it appears that we have a little bit of voltage drop from the battery to this. And that's normal. Now if we started the car up, the voltage would be higher, and we'd see a higher voltage out of here. So we can see it stored that max value here of 11.91. Since this is connected all the way back to the battery, we're going to get a good measurement. If we're measuring from the ground to the power in the socket itself, it could have a bad ground on it. And in that case, we may not get a good measurement. So let's actually measure that ground. We'll go to multimeter, we're on ohm. And we're getting around 0 ohms. So we have good connectivity there on the ground. So we can also test items out of the car. So if I go here to active, we can take a component, and this is a light bulb. Now I do have to be careful though, because this will get very hot. But I'll clip onto here. And if I press left here, we'll get battery, so I'll hit that, and you can see that lights up. So if you have light bulbs or small motors, you wouldn't want to do large motors with this. But if you had like a little lock motor, you could test it with this and see if it works. Of course, in-car you could test this with positive or negative to check for bad grounds. So that's the ANCEL PB600 Advanced Circuit Tester. I'm really impressed how easy this tool was to use. This is going to make electrical work on my car much easier. Not only would this be good for a car, this would be great for trailer wiring. Last year I was working on wiring my RV, and this would have really helped out. I was tracing wires. I could have connected this up to the RV battery and then probed for different connections to help me identify where circuits were routed. This would have also been very handy when I was installing a trailer brake controller. I had to identify some brake light wires, and it was quite a bit of work. A tool like this would have made it much simpler. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.